Hello, my name is Kristen Hensley. I'm the counselor at Clinton High School, and I am going to go over the registration packet for next school year, which would be the 2020-21 school year that each student will need to complete and return to the high school by May the 1st. I'm going to start with the graduation requirements. This is going to start with the classes that are graduating in 2021 or 22, which will be our senior and junior class for next year. This comes straight out of our handbook. I'm not going to go over it completely, but just know that a student has to have 23 credits to graduate from Clinton High School, and they are outlined specifically in the packet that you've been sent. English, how many English, math, science, social studies credits, it's completely outlined. For the class of 2020-21, they have to have a half a unit of Arkansas history, and they are the last classes that will have to have that as a graduation requirement. When we get to the class of 2023, which is going to be our sophomore class next year, that will discontinue, and they'll still have to have 23 credits to graduate for high school. That's the only difference. A couple of things that all students have to do in addition to taking these courses, there is a required civics exam now, and they must be CPR trained, which we do through our health classes. This comes out of the handbook, like I said. If you want information about honor graduate requirements or SMART and Common Core, that can be found in our student handbook, which is on our website. The next thing that we would like to talk about are the class offerings for the 2020-21 school year. I highlighted, of course, that some may change without notice. There are things out of our control sometimes that cause classes to either not make, or their additions that are made at a later time. This is divided into departments: English, math, science, social studies. I want to just point out the changes from last school year that we need to make you aware of. Our mathematics department is restructuring. We are discontinuing transitional ready math, and we are going to teach a technical math that is more of a path for vocational trade students. And we will also introduce Algebra 3, so that when students leave the Algebra 2 course, they can either choose to go into Algebra 3 or pre-calculus, depending on what the teacher recommendation is. Not a lot of other changes as far as core. Remember that students do have an option to go to the vocational center at Leslie, which is a half a day commitment. They leave after lunch, and they can choose from 4 vocational programs up there, for which they receive 3 units of credit per year for. Students that have already registered for college concurrent classes, we did that in February before school was dismissed, and those have already been sent in, and those students that sent in packets have been pre-approved for those courses. So students, if you submitted a packet for concurrent credit to me, those have been sent in and you have been approved for those, and you will need to make sure that those are marked on your registration form. Next are the big changes to our course offerings in our career and technical courses. They are restructuring their programs. This will affect our agricultural department, our business department, and our family and consumer sciences department. They are going to a leveled course selection, which means that they must be taken in order. Starting next school year, I'm going to start with agriculture programs of study. We will offer 4 programs: animal systems, agribusiness systems, agricultural power, structural and technical systems, and plant systems. The levels 1, 2, and 3 are the order in which those courses must be taken. So let me give you an example of that. If you enter as a 9th grader, you'll take a level 1 class, which would be the Structures of Ag System. Then the next year as a sophomore, you would take a level 2 course, and then the following year you would take a level 3 course. You'd have to take those in order, in the order that they are, to be a vocational completer. And that's going to be the same for the business and marketing classes. They have to be taken in order, and these are some of the ones that will be offering accounting, hospitality and tourism, and digital marketing. Note, by some of the classes, in parentheses, it says VA only. That means that we offer that course through Virtual Arkansas, which is in an online format. And students can register for those courses. Family and Consumer Science, or FACS, will offer 2 programs, Customer Services and Nutrition Science and Dietetics. And there are the levels that they have to take in order. So I'm going to talk briefly about Virtual Arkansas in our distance learning classrooms. Many of the students are familiar with this, but that gives our high school, as well as other high schools across the state, the option to offer courses that we don't have staff certified to teach. So it gives that student more options. There is a link to the Virtual Arkansas course catalog for next school year. I did not include the entire course catalog. I did include on this some core courses and some technical career courses that we don't offer that your child may be interested in taking through distance learning. There are some foreign language options that we don't offer with a live teacher, math, computer science, AP courses that are both teacher facilitated and teacher led, and some fine art classes as well. Career and technical courses that we don't offer, you'll see those listed, and you can see that they too are also, some of them are leveled, like we talked about in the previous career and technical programs. So each student will receive, there will be included in this packet a registration form that I sent with it. I sent you a view only. Each registration form is unique to that grade level. I color coded them so that I know many of you may have multiple students in different grades, and so you'll need to pay attention to which registration form your child needs to fill out. This is the 10th grade registration form, and I'm going to talk about how those are going to be completed in a minute, but I just wanted to show you kind of what they look like. It's green. The 11th grade one is orange. And the 12th grade one is purple. And they're different in that they have different offerings that are for that grade level specifically. So let me talk to you about how we're going to do registration virtually. We had originally planned a student success night where the parent or guardian and the student met with your mentor to go over this packet and fill it out and complete it. Because of circumstance, we're going to have to do that virtually or on the telephone. So what I would tell you is that your mentor will be contacting you personally as the students to review the form, and you'll have a copy that you can look at as a view-only copy, and then you can fill that out together over the telephone, and then they'll follow up with your parent or guardian for approval, and that form will come. They'll fill the form out for you over the telephone, and that way we'll have a hard copy here at the high school. I know some students do not have internet access, and so can't receive this packet, but I would tell you that those packets will be available in hard copy form to pick up in the high school prior to your telephone conference with your mentor. One thing I wanted to make note of, just kind of how it's outlined. As you're talking to your mentor on the telephone, you will talk about your English choices, and they'll check that off for you. Math, science, social studies, the other things that are required, such as personal finance. Let me say that was what financial literacy was called last year, but there's been a name change. That's the only thing, just a name change. And also, oral communication or the speech class will have a name change, and it will be known as personal communications. You'll fill out your core, and then you'll have to come over to the right side, and they'll go through your career and technical education courses. You'll need to list the name of the course and the level, okay? So that means if you're going to take an Agri class and you are a 10th grader, then you would list that level 2 course by name, and you would put a number 2 in the second slot. You'll need to do a first choice, and if there is a second choice, some of them have more than one choice, you can choose that as well. Then you'll drop down to your elective courses, and you're going to do those in order of preference. So let me tell you about elective courses and how I would like for students to fill that out. If you are going to be in an extracurricular activity that is scheduled during the course of the day, like band or choir or athletics, that needs to be listed as your first choice. And if you do maybe more than one, you'll need to list both of those in order. And then you can select any of the other elective courses from the course offering sheet, and you'll want to fill up a second and a third choice just so that there are options in case there are any scheduling conflicts. I highlighted on each form about the recommendation for your math placement. The math department will provide me with a list of recommendations for your class selection, and I will abide by their recommendations. So that will be predetermined for you. On these forms, each one will tell you how many credits you have to be classified as a sophomore, a junior, or a senior. The asterisk will denote college courses, and then the last statement just says that if there are any kind of administrative changes, those would be due to scheduling conflicts. When your child's mentor teacher contacts you about a follow-up and permission as far as approving your student's selection of class choices, they will document when they spoke to you and when they spoke to the student, and they'll date that as documentation that 4-year plan was approved and the registration form has been submitted. So in closing, I'll just say that, again, those packets will be emailed to you, to the student's school email, and you'll need to make sure that you review the packet with your student so that you know kind of how the registration process is going to be handled, and then you'll be contacted by the mentor to complete that and have it approved. I know there will be questions. Remember, if you have students and you don't have internet access at your house, we will have hard copy packets available for pickup in the high school office. Someone is in the high school office, one of the secretaries or myself or Mr. Smith are here Monday through Friday from 10 to 2, and you can pick those up in the front office if need be. If you need to contact me and you have any questions, please feel free to email me. My email is hensleyk@clintonsd.org, or you can call the high school office and ask for me, and I can help with any questions you have about registration. I thank you again for your time and your patience in watching this video, and I would just say that I'm looking forward to a normal school year next year, and I miss all of you very much. Thank you.